Hey, thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus on this Tuesday afternoon. I'm 9 News meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and we're going to get into the busy weather we got coming up over the next few days, next few months, but do want to take some time to focus on what we're seeing here today. A pretty nice afternoon shaping up here along the Front Range. We will get some gusty showers potentially in the forecast here over the next, say, 3 to 4 hours or so, but for the most part, I think we're looking at a pretty pleasant in terms of temperature and skies-wise, looking at a pretty nice afternoon here on this Tuesday along the Front Range. Now, into the high country, you might notice that snow up there. That's, of course, left over from our storm that took place a little less than 2 weeks ago. That's when we picked about a foot of snow up there into the high country, in this part of the high country, about 2 weeks ago. This picture is going to look substantially different this time next week. We're probably going to be talking about a foot plus of snow up there at Rocky Mountain National Park. So get ready. That picture probably will be snow covered for the rest of the winter season after this week. Meantime, here in Denver, first of all, look at the bottom of your screen. Those fall colors are just glorious right now. It is beautiful here along the Front Range. We are in the heart of our peak in terms of fall foliage right now here in the Denver area, but enjoy it while it lasts, because later on this week, with those series of systems that moves its way on through, we're going to kick up the winds, specifically Friday and Saturday, and that wind will get rid of a lot of those fall leaves. So we got those beautiful colors out there right now. Enjoy them, because a lot of those are going to go away come this weekend. So just one thing to keep in mind, especially all of you fall weather lovers out there. I know there are plenty of you. Now, here's a look at those overall headlines. Gusty shower possible this afternoon. Gradual cool down this week, although tomorrow we kind of warm up a little bit from today, and then big changes to the upcoming weekend. HD Doppler radar right now is mostly quiet along and north of I-70, south of I-70, where we do have some action crossing Raton Pass and moving its way into Trinidad, some showers and some rumbles of thunder out there, and then into the San Juans and maybe even into the Saguache ranges up there, maybe up by McClure Pass, seeing some of those first snow showers starting to push the way a little further north into our southern mountains. Denver area, we're quiet for now, but that will change over the next few hours. We do have some moisture streaming on in from the south and the west. That is with our next storm system. That will lead to that possibility for a stray rain shower or two, and that would probably be accompanied by a brief little bit of gusty wind for the early part of the afternoon as well, for the early part of the evening as well. So come 4, 5, 6 o'clock, that's when we'll have a higher chance of seeing that gusty shower here along the Front Range. And then tonight, something to watch for is the possibility for maybe a little bit of fog, especially as you get out to the eastern plains. This would be probably Fort Morgan, Lyman on east, maybe even as far west here as the I-25 corridor. We'll get some upslope flow back into the picture, and that could lead to a foggy start to your Wednesday in a few spots. So just keep that in mind. Remember, use those low beams in fog and just take it slow out there on the road. So walking through the next few hours, again, Denver area, possibility for a gusty shower. This would be brief. I wouldn't plan around it. Just if you have that little bit of rain and a brief little bit of a wind up to maybe 40 miles an hour, don't be surprised. Then by tonight, that cloudy and maybe foggy weather takes back over for tomorrow morning. Temperatures right now, it's very pleasant out there in terms of those temperatures, 50s and 60s into the high country. And then in Denver, right now it's 69 degrees. It is mostly in the low to mid 70s for us here on the Eastern Plains. Very pleasant outside right now on the Eastern Plains. And forecast highs for today, a lot of 70s for us out on the eastern part of the state. For today, temperatures in the low 70s, isolated gusty shower. Winds will be a little blustery at times, 10 to 20 miles an hour. And for tonight, temperatures drop back in the low 40s. It is clearing. It is cool. Tomorrow, temperatures topping out in the mid 70s for us, so a bit warmer than today. Mostly sunny skies. We will have that foggy start, but we should see those see that sunshine picking up as we get later on through the day. Highs for tomorrow, mostly in the mid 70s. For what it's worth, our average high for this time of year is in the low 60s. We're normally around 61, 62 this time of year. When we're talking about a high in the mid 70s, it's close to 15 degrees above average. So we are cooking again for tomorrow. And later on into the week, that's when we see our first big cool down and the potential for some snow for us here along the Front Range. So we get two cold fronts I'll work the way through. First one arrives Thursday night and Friday morning. That's the one that's going to lead to a significant cool down. By Friday, you're going to feel it. It's going to be more like maybe the low 50s for a high temperature on Friday, some cloud cover around, and then a secondary front arrives on Saturday, probably Saturday night for us along the Front Range. And that'll lead to that potential for some cold and some snow for us by the time we get into your Sunday, and by your Monday, it's still cold. So those kind of top headlines from all this, you've got to make sure you are winterizing your home now, and that is due to the fact that we'll be talking about those lows dropping down into the upper teens here in Denver. So for the Denver area, the temperatures will be the bigger story. Yes, we have the potential and the likelihood for a first snow of the season. That snow doesn't look all that impressive, but it is looking increasingly likely that we'll be talking about those temperatures dropping down to the upper teens. So that is very, very cold for this time of year. And that means if you don't have those sprinklers blown out, that could lead to some significant damage to those sprinklers. So just get those blown out now, not next week now, because again, when we drop down to 18, 19 degrees, that's when you're looking at some of that significant damage. And Halloween next week looking very chilly as well. 7-day forecast. Again, temperatures drop back for Friday, and then that secondary cold front Saturday night into Sunday. That snow picks up Saturday night into Sunday, and then staying cold for Monday. By Tuesday, we rebound those temperatures. And if you're like me and you're heading to the Bronco game on Sunday, ooh, it is going to be bitterly cold. There's also going to be a bit of a wind, maybe up to 20, 25 miles an hour for us during the game. That's going to make it feel like the 20s out there on the field. So dress warm, needless to say, if you're heading to the game. Some light snow. Won't be a big deal, the snow, but we will have some light snow around. And then by the time we get into your Halloween, trick-or-treaters, plan ahead, because those temperatures will start out in the 30s and they'll drop back into the 20s on Halloween night. So very, very chilly. This is an early crack, by the way, because we're still a week out and there's still some uncertainty with the forecast for next Tuesday for Halloween. I would just plan on a very, very cold Halloween. And then finally, I want to leave you with this. This is one computer forecast model's take on the snow. I think Fort Collins Greeley numbers seem a bit high to me, but this is the GFS model. What I do want you to focus in on is notice into the mountains a widespread 10 plus inches worth of snowfall for Saturday and Sunday. So this is again Saturday, Sunday. Travel will be very tricky in the high country on Saturday in particular. And it's not just, of course, the snow. It's also going to be the wind up that way. And finally, very warm start to our fall season. It is our fourth warmest start to a fall season on record for us here in Denver and along the Front Range. So that's a lot of info. Let's break it down for you one more time. Top line takeaways today: gusty shower possible between about 4 and 8 p.m. for us along the Front Range. That clears out. Then maybe some fog for tomorrow morning. Patchy along in the east of a Fort Morgan Lyman line. Maybe some as far west here as the I-25 corridor. That should break up tomorrow. Pretty nice overall. Highs in the mid-70s. Thursday, late in the evening, we'll see that big cool down, that first big cool down, then a secondary front for Saturday night into Sunday morning. And at this point, looks like Saturday and Sunday going to be very snowy in the high country. At this point, looks like Saturday's going to be the snowiest day in the high country with some wind. For Denver, I think Saturday's probably mostly just kind of cloudy and cool. Then some late day rain, maybe flipping to snow Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then some light snow for us on Sunday, and perhaps lingering into Monday as well. But the temperature is the big story for us along the Front Range. Those lows dropping into the upper teens. Again, that is deep, deep freeze territory. This is pretty early for us to be dropping down into the upper teens, and that would be for maybe as early as Sunday morning, but probably Monday and Tuesday morning, as we're talking about those temperatures dropping down in the teens. So winterize everything now while you have the opportunity, while it's nice, warm, and in the low 70s. So that'll do it for me here on 9 News Plus. Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sable will have an update for you coming up 9 News at 4 and 5 p.m. And then Meteorologist Danielle Grant in at 6, 9, 10 tonight on the 9 News family of networks. Once again, I'm 9 News Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.